Wanted to talk to you about the song. We were talking about times we're living in and how perfect the song fits in with.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. Here. Speakers on so you can see me. Hey there.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Yeah. I think yeah, it was definitely a COVID pandemic inspired song for sure, man. I mean it was one of the we wanted a song that was not going to be our best track, but definitely one that is a good one that definitely can introduce you to our sound and kind of be that track on the first this first part of the album that really kind of jumps at you, and says it just has that first song kind of feel, and the religious imagery and the kind of the end of the world kind of feeling in the video, and just the metaphor for the rapture kind of symbolized, I guess, our division as people, and kind of where we were headed, and we were searching for that unity, you know what I mean, and we felt like we were kind of dividing more than anything, and that was definitely the inspiration for the song for sure.
Definitely, music itself is the greatest form of unity on the planet. If you go to a show and it's like you're amongst family, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. I think music is one of the most unifying things I think we can do. Being in a mosh pit, being in there. There's color doesn't matter, sex doesn't matter, sexual preference doesn't matter, religion doesn't matter. We're all one, and that was kind of the scene I grew up in when I was enjoying music, and um, that's where I feel like I'm at home for sure. Absolutely.
And what are some of the inspirations in your music career? What are some bands that or artists that inspired you?
I would say, man, so I grew up, in Orlando, Florida. I grew up in, typical, pretty, middle class, great middle class family, stuff like that. And my parents were big music lovers. My dad always was a huge Tom Petty fan, and always played Led Zeppelin and was into a lot of that. My mom loved everything. She was great. I had an older brother named Mike, who's one of my biggest role models in music. And at the time when I was growing up, he was playing a lot of Smashing Pumpkins, a lot of STP, a lot of Nine Inch Nails and Metallica. He's a huge Metallica fan, and there was a lot of that kind of growing up, but I didn't really find my musical identity. I would say the first band that ever really like gave me like a true musical identity was probably when Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park came out. That was the most defining record for me ever as a musician. There was a band before that kind of got me like into it. I would say there was a band called Orgy from Los Angeles. They covered that song Blue Monday. That kind of got me to pay attention for sure. But the first time I heard Chester Bennington sing, and the first time I heard how wonderful those songs were, I was like, who the F is that? I don't know if we can speak French on this podcast.
You absolutely can.
I speak a very specific dialect of French, I'll tell you. But yeah, man, I would say, man, the first time I heard Hybrid Theory, I was hooked. And then bands like Stain came around. Break the Cycle was a huge album for me, as a kid, and I was, I guess at the time, really discovering music, and that band really did. And then Alice in Chains came, Tool came, then as I got older, Chevelle, Breaking Benjamin, and I would say a lot of those really straightforward kind of hard rock bands. 3 Days Grace was a big influence. Nickelback is a huge influence. I know I'm gonna probably catch all kinds of hate for that, but I love Nickelback, and they're a huge influence. And then I would say I always loved new wave. I always loved I liked a lot of the kind of the post early 90s kind of shoegaze sound, like the college rock was always cool for me. But I would say those are the biggest influences, man. You know, Linkin Park, Stain, Tool, Chevelle, you know, and I would say, you know, as I've gotten older, you know, definitely heavier music definitely played a part. But when it comes down to the roots, man, I've always wanted to kind of take a lot of that musicality and that honesty that grunge had and try to apply it to something that was more rooted in the mainstream sound for sure.
And when I hear you talk about Tool, Chevelle, and bands like that, and Linkin Park, I see the diversity in that, and I see that in your music. I see that you're inspired by different aspects, so you're not drawn into one box.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of '80s metal as well. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Queensryche. Oh God, Wasp. You know, there's a guy from Croatia called Dino Jelusic. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Plays in a band called Animal Drive. Unbelievable vocalist. I mean, you know, the list goes on, but I mean, I think that some of the greatest singers on earth came from that hair metal genre, and a lot of those upper fifths, lower fifths, and the chorus that really lift it. Like Jet City Woman. You know, Jet City Woman. You know that I kind of that pop in the music, and as you go deeper into the catalog, as we start releasing more music towards the end, you're going to hear a lot more of those pop really harmonies, you know, and that's kind of something that I think is cool. And I think it's something that might be cool to bring back, you know, and if it's not there already. But yeah, man, thank you so much. I'm glad you can kind of see the eclectic nature. That's really a compliment for sure.
Absolutely. And I looked at the promo pic that you sent me, and I have to ask you, there's a guy in the pic that has a Hollywood Undead like mask on. Can you talk to me about that?
We wanted a little bit of lore in the Vans. We think there's going to be an unmasking maybe of that extra member, and you know, we kind of wanted to leave a little bit of imagination in there, and you know, the band actually is we're pretty much formed. We do have a person that comes in and plays on bass, but that unmasking is possibly going to be in the future, and that we wanted to give a little bit of lore, you know, a little bit of imagination there. So yeah. So we will reveal that person's identity. That person wishes to be anonymous at the moment, but we will potentially have an unmasking in the future. I guess you guys will just have to wonder, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's it, man.
And what can we look for next? Will there be another single coming shortly?
Absolutely, man. We release new music every 2 to 8 weeks. Excuse me, sorry, 6 to 8 weeks. 6 being on the really short end, but mostly 2 months, not later than that. You can expect a brand new single called Wish coming out June 28th. We are going to have we still have the Blood Moon Rising video has just been released a couple of days ago. That's out on it's out on our YouTube channel, and there's also you can check it out on a great playlist channel, a promo channel called Space Untraveled. This guy's amazing. He's from the UK. I think his name's Dinko or something like that. Hope I didn't butcher that, but he's does Space Untraveled. He's been doing it for years, helps independent bands always get up. Even some big bands are on there for sure. I know Kingdom Collapse got their start on there. You know, Ashes from Ashes to New is on there as well. There's a lot of big acts on there that have started there. That's a great channel. You can check it out there. But yeah, we're gonna release a new song called Wish, June 28th. We're gonna have consecutive songs after that. Increasing in strength and increasing in what we think is going to be more of our really rich kind of tracks. And I think you'll see a little bit more of a consistency in our sound after that. But, you know, these first couple of tracks that are coming out, they're more of the songs that we really want to use to kind of build an audience. And then we want to really give you a lot more of what we think is the cream of the crop toward the end. So it only gets better from here. It's like a candy that just gets sweeter. And then we're actually going into the recording studio to record the next album cycle now. So So you can expect a lot from us in the next 2 years and in the future. This is what we do. So yeah.
And as far as being an independent, I wanted to ask you, is that your goal to stay as an independent, or are you looking to get signed?
I would say, with the way that I'm a person that entertains all possibilities. I'm all about moving the needle. I'm always about momentum. I would say that we would want to do as many things on our own as we can until we get to a point where maybe we need a bump here and there, or maybe we need something that may take us to the next level. So the dynamics, I think, purely depend on what the circumstance is. What what a person could do to help us, is always going to be something that's entertained. So I would never say that it's off the table. I would say for now, we just want to kind of do as much as we can and learn as much about the business and make as many great relationships as we can. And then when the time comes, if we have someone that can really move the momentum or take us somewhere further, it would be a wonderful thing. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I also feel that, in these times that being an independent is a great advantage, because no one knows you better than you know you.
Agreed.
Maybe you don't want to see your name on the side of a bus, but maybe the record company wants to put you there. So
yeah,
there's a lot of pluses there, and
yeah, definitely. I think that's dead on. I think that it's always about getting more fans. You always want to make as many connections as you can, and it's like, I love this. Like, if I was all I've ever wanted, I think all I do want is just to be a legitimate rock singer, or that's part of a top rock act, and can have as big of a fan base as possible, and to make as many connections, and as long as I could sustain my living doing that. I mean, even if I couldn't, like, it's all about playing, and it's all about just making people feel things as much as possible. And it's like, that's the greatest. I mean, that's another thing about being an independent artist, is like, from the monetary point of view, like your streams, like what like 0.01 cents a stream, right? It's mostly free, but it's like, yeah, but like, the money is in the fans. The like, it doesn't have to, like, you being rich doesn't mean money. It means the fan participation right now. That's what matters. That's the money in it is without saying the wrong, I don't hope this doesn't get taken wrong, but it's like, the fans are worth more than what that is right now. And that's where it is. And it's, that's what I care about, and, I had a fan the other day ask, hey man, can you, can I pay for a shirt or something? I'm like, right now, like, I'll send you a shirt, man. I just want you here, for the time being. Not to say it'd be like that forever, but I want to give people as much as possible, and right now we want to give, and you can download our music for free on our website. It's always going to be there for free for now. You just got to put your email in there so we can stay in contact with you. And we're all about building a fan base. We want to make that investment in you first, so yeah, man. But I would do it for beans, as long as I got to play, for someone. I at the end of the day, I'd still be happy. You want to make, but
your vision to hit the road with this.
Yeah, that'd be killer, man. That'd be killer. Absolutely. If we could do it, that'd be badass.
Yeah, I think your vocals would render live amazingly.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, we're working on the live gig right now, and it's coming together well, and we're getting tight. So yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that.
It's very true. Yeah, when I first heard the song, the first thing that came to my mind is, if these guys can put 5 tracks as good as this one out there, it's a home run.
That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. I appreciate that. That's wicked. Yeah, we're hoping we have 6 tracks ready to go. 6 on this EP. So we have a full year's worth of music guaranteed. And then we're hoping that we get some traction. You know, we're hoping that people can really see something that's vulnerable and creative. You know, hopefully, hopefully it goes well. But we're gonna definitely give you guys. We're definitely gonna keep feeding you guys for sure.
And I look forward to a physical copy. When will physical copy? Are you thinking about getting the physical copies together right now?
Absolutely. So the plan is to go ahead and release a number of singles. That way we're constantly keeping everyone's attention. We're constantly getting an audience built. And then towards the end of the album cycle, we're actually going to group a lot of those songs and then add maybe 1 or 2 extra songs to that EP, and then probably sell them as CDs. Vinyl might be in the question, but we think we're gonna definitely have a physical copy at the end, and we would love to send you a copy for sure on the house, for sure. You and Heidi, for sure, and whoever else, we would love to do it. So that's what we're going to look forward to. And then we're thinking that in the next cycle, we'll take a lot of those songs and then we'll group all of them together and even maybe add some bonus stuff and then release it as an album. So you have an EP and an album. Not to say for sure, but we think that's where it's headed.
And how is the music scene there?
In Orlando, it's a really tight scene. It's really cool. We have some great promoters. There's a guy named Josh Harris. I think he does Engine 9 Productions. I think that's right. Does a really great job. He has a wonderful, a really cool festival he puts on every year called Central Florida Metal Fest, and that's huge. Does a lot of work with that. And we have a great venue called The Haven. We have House of Blues. We have West End Trading Company. We have so many venues that give listeners the ability to experience music and experience a community. And I think that we've had some great bands, come out of here. We have, a band called, we have had some great bands rise up here and are continuing doing the thing. Breathing Theory is a great band that's, coming up. That's, they've been around for a while, but they're really, getting some traction. There's an amazing metalcore band named Dark Divine. That's also from Orlando. Killer band. There's a band called Wake Up Hate, amazing band from Orlando, Florida. So, and just a ton of other ones. Soul Switch is another really good one. No Self is a good one. You got to check out. But just a great artist and a lot of great competition. And it's friendly competition. It's not, we want to be, it's always like, okay, these guys are going after it. We got to go after it. And that energy pushes each other, and, the fans are great. Everyone kind of gets along, and it's a pretty positive scene. I've heard from a lot of other people that they've been in a lot of other places, and the scene here is really special, and that's definitely, I'm sure every I was on the Michigan metal community a while ago in the Nashville one, kind of reviewing bands and connecting with those guys, and they seem like they had a good one there too. So I can't say ours is the best, but it's definitely a special scene. I would say it's great. It's very good.
I want to ask you on a personal level, if you could tell me what your proudest moment as an artist has been so far.
My proudest moment as an artist, I would say probably, I would say having the proudest moment as an artist, I would say just overcoming adversity. I would say, the moment where, I had the courage to disband from a band that I didn't really, have any more, didn't serve me as an artist anymore, and having the guts to completely build a project, on my own at first, and having the guts to do it, and overcoming the self-doubt or whatever other questions that I have in my mind. I'm not a gifted vocalist at all. I've spent countless dollars on vocal coaches, if an astronomical amount, and just to get better. And and it's so far it's been an upward trend. Overcoming the songwriting, co-writing with other musicians, just overcoming adversity, and the ability to form a goal and say we're going to go toward it and we're not going to stray from the path, I think is been my proudest moment, is having a dream and going after it and not quitting and not letting the pain or letting the depression or anything that we encounter as musicians stifle that. That's my proudest moment. And I could probably give you a ton of great shows that we've played that I've loved, and connections with fans that I've had that I'll never forget. Talking to people from India and even Iraq, talking to people across. I've talked to a guy from Las Vegas, a guy named Victor Reyes, amazing guy, out in Las Vegas. Never met the guy before. Having great conversations about music, connecting with fans. All those moments are definitely very special, I would say, as well. So.
Sure. And that's the best connection in the world, is the connection with your fans, because that's one thing that can be said about heavy metal is the loyalty in the fans is unmatched in any other genre.
I agree. I think we have a special group. We have a special group. What other there's mosh pits in hip hop and EDM music for sure, but they all came from the punk and rock scene. They came from us. I think that the special thing about rock music and what makes us so tight is it's about rebellion. It's about being you. Sure. And saying what you want to say. And I think there's a lot of catharsis in that, for sure. And I think that's.
I remember, this will show my age, but first thing got me into metal was Kiss. I heard Destroyer for the first time, and I went from being a Beatles fan to a metal fan instantly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I remember walking through the hallways and people looking at me funny because I had hair to my butt and a Kiss t-shirt on.
Oh yeah.
But taught you to not give a fuck. Taught you to be you.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's yeah, you're totally right. I that was your Slipknot, pretty much. I mean, yeah. That was the wild group of guys with masks on that came out and shocked you. And they said, "Oh my God, thank God I found you. You made me feel not alone anymore." That's an incredibly. I know, like I don't like to. I'm not the best religious person on the planet, but it's like if you want to talk about something being Christ-like, there's nothing more Christ-like than that, to make somebody not feel alone anymore because you connect with their music and you give them a home. It's beautiful, so I totally get it, man. That's awesome. Would have loved to see what those times were like, for sure.
Yeah, they're unreal. The thing I miss the most is record stores. It's finally starting to come back. But going to a record store is actually picking up the vinyl, opening it up, looking at the gatefold, and that whole experience was magical.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, man. Like, as much as I would probably never, this is gonna sound crazy, and I get it. I would never trade the dynamics of promotion today. I would never trade the dynamics of promotion today, because they've changed. But I would say that I have a very, very special admiration for the record times. I even still, remember. I even still remember, being, a really little kid, and remembering people waiting outside for the next record or the next this or the next that, or whatever it is, and it just it was just a really really special thing for me to be able to, you know, experience music in that way, you know, seeing people wait for that, you know, that new, you know, Nine Inch Nails record, or wait for, you know, the new LP record. You know, it was really, really special, you know, and you bought the physical copy and you listened to it till it didn't work anymore, and you absolutely just sucked it in. You
Yeah.
smoked to the filter, and it was beautiful, and it was like you had to wait, you know.
Mm.
But it's bittersweet, because then it's like, okay, well, you waited for the, you know, you got the record companies and you got all that stuff, and you got the big bands and you got the tribalism, but it's like, the same token, if some A&R guy doesn't like you because you're too old, or, you know, there's this or there's that, there's that component as well, you know.
Sure.
There's that standing in the way with you. So in terms of the statutory component of records, yeah, kick-ass time, man. Great stuff. Yeah. The way music was consumed was a beautiful thing.
Sure. And it's unfortunate that those contracts that bands like Kiss, Aerosmith, and Crew attained are not attainable anymore. Record company wants to rape you for your first album, your second album, maybe pay for your tour, but not going to see anything from your work. And that's just horrible. And
Yeah,
the
totally.
fact that they don't seem to take the time or the interest a lot of times to realize what a band's really about.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it, man. I think I think that a lot of artists you see these days are really, really trying to push, they're really trying to push people to you know, I guess the right word for it is they're trying to push people to stay independent. You know, they're trying to push people to work as hard as possible, and that kind of goes into what we talked about before. You know, I
Sure.
want to do as many things for ourselves as we can. You know, really touch as many fans as we can, and those relationships are deep, man. Like, you know, when you go out and you find someone that connects with you, and it's like they'll never forget you for that. And it forces you to be more personal, and it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I think holding on to your music and owning your masters and things like that, and trying to hold on as long as possible is a great thing. You know, definitely in the long run.
And speaking of your fans,
Sure.
the last question I wanted to ask you is if you could give any message to your fans, and it's all yours. What message
Absolutely.
do you give your fans?
Thank you, Robert. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. Yeah. My name is Brian Phillips. I'm from the band Alive and Stone. We're right now we're a 5-piece from Orlando, Florida. Thank you so much for just all the support that we've had. You know, releasing our first single, Blood Moon Rising. The subscribers and everyone that's, you know, viewed the video, and everyone that streamed the song, and the followers and the saves and everything. We appreciate it so much. We always have free content down at www.aliveandstonemusic.com. It's our website. You can go there anytime during this album cycle, and the next one as well, unless anything changes. There's always a free download. Give your email so we can stay in touch with you. I want to I DM us anytime. We answer our messages personally. We will always comment and respond. If there's any playlists out there that play our music, we're going to try our best to always share your promotion, and always try to return the love. Same thing with blogs and everything of that nature. We have a most exciting year for you guys. We've got a ton of content to share with you. We put out content regularly, and we cannot wait to bring every one of you on the journey with us to experiencing this music, and helping you find yourself and find your experience with us. We want to take you with us. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we really appreciate everything. Everything's been great. You guys have been wonderful. And thank you, Robert. I'm so honored. This is actually the first podcast I've ever done, so this is really an interesting thing. So thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to be with me.
Oh, anytime.
Heidi has referred me to quite a few artists, and I am so glad she referred me to you. It's been an honor to speak to you.
That's great, man. She's a great lady. So she's been very supportive. So thank you for the opportunity, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you, and you have a great rest of your day, my friend.
You too, Robert. Stay rocking. We'll talk to you soon, man. Rock on.
All right, take care.
Beautiful.